There are consequences of others' behavior on you. I had direct experience of this morning, and it is applicable to us as doctors. So I want to share it with you. So my son's been awesomely into surfing. It's been fantastic. Revelation. We've been out there a whole bunch surfing. He's been able to go a lot more than me. Obviously, as a 46-year-old doctor, my available free time is significantly less than my son's. And it's had a couple of interesting things. One is his rate of acceleration, of learning, of development, of being able to come down in size in board has exponentially taken over me. I've been going for 15 years, but I've never been able to get that intensity that he's been able to get. But that's not what the issue was. You see, we head off here at 7 o'clock in the morning, and he has all his gear. He's got all his gear, apparently. We get down there, he goes surfing, I come home, and then at about 8 o'clock, there's a phone call. It's like, hey, Dad, can you come back? I've forgotten my shoes. You forgot your shoes. Okay, this is a significant impact on him. He's not going to be able to go to school without his shoes. And now I've got a decision. Can I just let him go to school without his shoes? He forgot them. Do I go and take them down here so he can go to school? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just drop down the shoes. So we head down. But the consequence on this was I'm now late for work. Yes, my son gets to go to school, which is important. But because he forgot his shoes, there's a consequence on me. Now, he's 15. And I was like, you know, mate, you got to make a decision here. You got to make a choice about how this is going to go down. Either, number one, you come back after surfing with me and we get ready at home so you get everything and you go. Or number two, you stop forgetting things. He's like, well, how do we do that? I'm like, well, you know, there's these really awesome things called checklists. And at this point, something truly disturbing happened in my world. I was like, what is going on in the world of schooling? He's like, because he said, get out your iPhone, got the phone, bring up the Notes app, and I'll talk you through what a checklist is. And we went through and looked at all of the things. Now, what is interesting is just how many things there were. Because for surfing, you need wetsuit, surfboard. Okay, we're back. I'm on Starlink, so possibly we just had an outage, or I moved closer to the wireless thing. But let's come back to this checklist, because what was surprising was just how many items he needed to have in order to be successful in getting to school. No, so we got the surfing stuff: surfboard, surf bag, wax, bicycle. We got helmets and wetsuit, all just required for the surfing part. Then from there, we've got the school bit. So we need school clothes, shirt, shorts, boxers, socks, shoes. Very important to remember the shoes, since they were the ones that got forgotten today. Jumper, lunch, bag, school books, phone, headphones, sunscreen. So just in this relatively simple exercise of going to surfing and then to go to school, without that checklist, things kept getting forgotten. With the checklist, suddenly the opportunity to go through and check off everything. Have I got the board? Have I got the bag? Have I got the wax? Have I got the sunscreen? Have I got my wetsuit? Yes, 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 yes. Now this idea is not new, this checklist idea. In fact, there is a book written by a doctor who was a surgeon. And he was like, you know what? We're having some problems. This, I believe, was in the 70s. And the book's called The Checklist Manifesto. It was written by a surgeon because he got so frustrated with mistakes. And he's like, in surgery, significant consequences happen. Again, this idea of when things are not done correctly, there are consequences. Could be on the patient, could be on the surgeon, could be on many of the people operating in that experience. And so he was like, you know what? I want some checklists to make sure that everything gets done. You see, the problem that my son runs into is that once he has left the house and we've gone to the beach, the availability for him to access whatever forgotten items goes way down. It's just not possible to head back without coming back to the house or having me bring him his things to actually get this done. And this is the same for us in general practice. And so your awareness of how your other team members are operating is critical. Check this out. I wrote to my practice and said, hey, I want to change my bank account. And there's a reason for that, a particular setup for how I want the cash flow to be done. And I needed it to move. I needed to move from one account to another account. So I sent an email as a test. Now, I didn't tell them about the test because if they knew about it, the test, then it wouldn't be a test. It's a bit like a mystery shop. And it said, hey, I want to change my bank details. And the initial answer came back, yep, just send them through on email. Now, I just happen to have had at least 2 people that have been scammed on this exact thing. And what had happened is that their email accounts had been hacked. They wrote to their employer, or the hacker wrote to the employer, said, hey, I need to change my bank details. The person wrote back and said, yep, I want to do that. And then they sent the details. The money got sent to the hacker. So I brought this up with the practice, like, hey, guys, make sure that you sign off. This is important. This is money stuff. Let's make it so that the process is that when someone wants to change their bank details, they have to have a signature. And they're like, yo, why? And I was like, told them about the story. Hacked. And they don't know. And we are living in now an age where most of Australian details have already gone out on the internet between Medibank and Optus and a bunch more. You can go check whether your details have been released. There's a site called Have I Been Pawned? I believe that's how I pronounce it, PWN something. And it means basically you got hacked. Your account details got hacked. But notice that there's another person involved. And now that the system's changed, hopefully it gets changed to say, hey, you must sign off to change the bank details. Guess what? That problem goes away. I have seen another solution, which is very interesting for a much bigger organization. And when I put in my bank details, they said, no, you need to go to this third-party authorization. They will authorize your bank details and we will send it to that authorized place. It was quite an impressive solution. The downside, I still had to type in my login details to my bank, but I'm trusting, I've got to have that trust. And so to actually put my details in, and it's always a concern. I mean, we are living in a time of advanced scamming. And how other people operate, whether it's checklists to make sure everything's done or safeguards to make sure that bank details don't get changed off an email because of the risk of hacking. These are all things that we need to be aware of as we continue to go through this rapidly changing, rapidly increasing complex environment. You see, my practice... My dog. My practice has never run into that issue before. So they are unaware of the consequences of having a hacked email and somebody change the BSB and the account details. If they had that happen, then guess what? They would be on it. No, you can't do that. We need it signed off. Now, what is interesting is how do I leverage best practice to make sure that problems that have occurred in other people's world don't happen in my world? And so by bringing the attention of the practice to this issue, then we can make sure that the banking details are secure. Instead of waiting for the hacking to occur or the vulnerability to be there and we are unaware of it. These are important things for you to consider. Where is the consequences for other people's behavior? So also it works the other way. I want you to be aware that how you show up has an effect on other people. There are consequences for how you show up. And so elevating our game, being aware of the challenges, being aware of the difficulties, actually means that the entire practice and the entire profession can rise. All right, that's all I got for you. I'm going to go help out in the kitchen. I believe we have Woolworths arriving. We've got some dogs. We've got my family going off. Thanks for tuning in today. Look forward to seeing you on another Facebook Live very soon.